All right, everyone, and welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm your host, Alex. Today, we're diving into R-SCoRe, revisiting scene coordinate regression for robust large-scale visual localization from January 2nd, 2025. This paper tackles visual localization, that's figuring out a camera's exact spot and direction in a known environment from an image. It specifically improves scene coordinate regression, or SCR, an AI method where the system learns to directly map image pixels to 3D points. R-SCoRe boosts this scene coordinate regression's reliability, especially with tricky lighting, using new strategies like a co-visibility graph, which helps the AI understand scene structure better. This allows it to achieve top accuracy with really small map data. So to help others explore and build on these ideas, the authors have also shared the code for this work. It's in a repository they call SCR Studio. This is a unified and modular framework for scene coordinate regression, and it includes implementations for R-SCoRe itself, along with other methods like ACE and GLACE, plus all the scripts you'd need for training and evaluation. Okay, so Figure 1 really drives this home. On the left, you see a point cloud, which is like a 3D digital map of the Aachen scene, reconstructed using R-SCoRe. Then, the graph on the right plots accuracy against map size for the challenging Aachen day-night dataset. R-SCoRe, that red star, hits an impressive 64.3% accuracy within a strict 0.25 meter and 2-degree error limit for nighttime images. And it achieves this performance with a map of only 47 megabytes. That's a huge leap for scene coordinate regression methods, shown as circles, and it's competitive with traditional methods, the triangles, which need much larger maps. Okay, so we saw how well R-SCoRe did on the Aachen dataset. Table 1 here broadens that picture, comparing R-SCoRe with other types of visual localization methods. We have traditional feature matching methods. These are generally accurate, but usually require large 3D maps. Then there are pose regression methods. These try to directly guess the camera's complete position and orientation from the image, often being fast and using small maps, but typically they're less accurate. This table shows that R-SCoRe, as an advanced scene coordinate regression approach, really hits a sweet spot, achieving positive marks across map size, processing time, accuracy, and working well without needing separate depth data. So building on that strong performance we saw in the table, Figure 2 here illustrates the R-SCoRe pipeline in detail, with new adjustments to existing scene coordinate regression pipelines highlighted in green. It starts with images and uses a co-visibility graph. This graph feeds into Node 2vec. That's an algorithm that learns to represent the graph structure numerically for what's called a global encoding. Separately, a local encoder processes image details. These different features, along with information from a position encoder and position decoder, which handle pixel locations and their 3D mapping, pass through several res blocks. Those are repeating processing units to predict the 3D scene coordinates. Alright, so we just discussed how R-SCoRe uses that co-visibility graph and Node 2vec for its global encoding. Figure 3 here really highlights why this Node 2vec method is a smart choice. The top plots compare how different global encodings distinguish between covisible image pairs, that's images viewing overlapping scene parts, and non-covisible ones. Node 2vec, on the right, shows much clearer separation. The bottom graph is a precision recall curve, measuring how accurately these encodings predict covisibility. Node 2vec, the green line, achieves a high average precision, or AP, score of 0.93, meaning it's very effective at this. So we've just seen how effective Node 2vec is for the global encoding part of R-SCoRe. Now let's look at another aspect they address, which is how the model learns from prediction errors. Figure 4 shows two heat maps. These plots visualize what's called reprojection error. That's essentially a measure of how far off a predicted 3D point is when it's projected back onto the 2D image, compared to its true location. This is plotted against disparity. Disparity in this context is related to depth. Points farther away in the scene have lower disparity values. What's clear in both plots, which represent different datasets and feature extractors, is that the reprojection error tends to be lower for points with lower disparity, meaning points that are farther away. This observation indicates a potential depth bias, where the training process might inadvertently favor accuracy for distant points. Alright, after seeing how R-SCoRe handles potential depth bias, Table 2 here details its performance on the tough ACK day-night dataset. We see map sizes and localization accuracy. That's the percentage of images correctly placed within specific error thresholds, for instance, within 0.25 meters and 2 degrees. R-SCoRe, using DDoD local features, really shines here. Even without needing separate depth data, it achieves strong accuracy on the difficult night images with a map of only 47 megabytes. This is dramatically smaller than feature matching methods that require vastly larger maps, even if they are very accurate. Okay, so we've seen R-SCoRe's impressive performance on the Akin dataset, especially with DDoD local features. Table 4 now zooms in on the impact of different local encoders. These encoders are responsible for processing the detailed local features from an image. The table shows an ablation study. That's where researchers test different components to see how they affect the overall system. We're looking at localization accuracy for different encoders like ACE, LOFTR, and DDoD. What's really clear is that using pre-trained, off-the-shelf feature extractors, these are basically ready-made, powerful tools for understanding image content, significantly boosts performance, especially in the challenging department. B1 val conditions, likely involving those tricky lighting changes. DDoD in particular shows very strong results there. After looking at how different local encoders impact performance, it's clear that R-SCoRe, especially when using strong pre-trained features like DDoD, offers a really effective way to do large-scale visual localization. The key takeaways are its ability to achieve impressive accuracy even with much smaller map sizes, and its robustness in challenging conditions. This kind of progress is vital for reliable navigation in robotics and augmented reality. Well, that's our look at R-SCoRe. Thanks for joining the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex.